Hey y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to Carol's Daily Sauce. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell so that you are reminded of all the videos I upload. I know I look different, y'all. I usually have hair way down here. It's easy straight. Well, you guys, I just decided just to do my own curls and things like that. So that's what I'm rocking on today with my beautiful yellow shirt that I got from Amazon, that I got from Walmart. Y'all, this shirt is so pretty, and the yellow, the color yellow goes great against my skin. I've always been a yellow person, but y'all, I seen this on clearance at Walmart on yesterday, and I had to have it. It's just a very wide arm a shirt with a really pretty the really pretty strings that you can actually tie up or you can leave open. I'm gonna leave mine open. And some leggings, just some black leggings with some slides. So that's what I'm wearing on today. So what we're going to do really quick is we're going to discuss a YouTuber, another YouTuber, as I am really trying to do a wide range of things. Not so much reactions, not so much reviews and things like that, but just a lot of different things. See, this is why I can't wear my hair natural, because I always have my hands in it. And what ends up happening is it gets frizzy. But I just want to do a wide range of things. And in my search, looking at different things to find out on the internet, on YouTube, things of that nature, I found a whole bunch of stuff. But one person that I really found very interesting only because of her story. You know, her name is Nagad, Nagad. Nagad has a channel. Please go over there, check Nagad out. Nagad seems to be a very reasonable person. She seems to be very nice. She is a Somalian. Yes, beautiful lady, beautiful skin, beautiful hair, beautiful. You know, people over in Somalia, India, in the African countries, in that hemisphere, in that region, gorgeous people. And it's just really ironic that I found her. But and when I say gorgeous, I mean as far as really brown skin with bone straight hair and features that are just that you would never see, so, or that you don't normally see walking around here. I mean, you see people that come from Somalia, Africa, India, and stuff like that, but they're just beautiful people. So anyway, Nagad is a young lady. I believe right now she's 23 years old. About 2 years ago, her anniversary of this memory was actually on June the 20th of 2020. This year was her 2-year anniversary. Nagad was disowned by her parents. And when I see disowned and I see people saying things like, you know, not being with the person, not really having their family not really wanting to have much to do with them, it kind of raises alarm for me, because I know here in the United States of America, we kind of don't dibble dabble with that disown word. So normally in countries such as East Africa, India, and countries, like I said, over in that region, they normally do have children. The religion normally is Muslim. There are some that have other religions, but we're speaking of right now specifically Somalians, and so most of them are Muslims. They're mostly Muslims. That's usually their religion, but they have arranged marriages, or they do have some that have common personal choice, meaning I like this person, the parents get together, they work it out. Okay, 14 to 15 years old is commonly the age for their marrying, and the women do most things in the house, and the men do oftentimes have multiple marriages. So let's go ahead and talk about Nagad. So what I looked at is Nagad was answering questions that people were sending her, and they were asking her if all kinds of questions. As I said, she was kicked out of her house on June the 20th, 2018. Her parents disowned her because they didn't approve of the relationship that she was having with her boyfriend. I found out later that one of the reasons they didn't approve of the relationship that she was having with her boyfriend is because, one, her boyfriend was Haitian. Two, he had other children, so he had been in another relationship. And three, I believe he is 15 years older than her, 13 to 15 years older than her. Initially, Nagad was just dating him. She was her parents' best child. I believe there were 5 of them. She was the one that got home from school. She was the one who was at prayer on every Friday. She was the one who did everything right. Well, all of her siblings had met her boyfriend. They were oftentimes telling her, when mommy and daddy find out, it's going to be an issue with your boyfriend, but I'm just going to just let it all pan out. And so Nagad became sad and depressed over time. She was actually not very, very happy living in her home because there were a lot of rules and regulations that she had to abide by. And at this time, she was 21 years old. So what ended up happening is one of her siblings, she's still not sure, but she's assuming one of the siblings had to go and let her parents know that she was actually dating outside of the religion, outside of the race, outside of everything that they didn't want. There was a confrontation on June the 20th, 2018. Nagad was instantly kicked out of her home. All communication with her brothers, her mother, her father, everything was null and void. Now, this is the thing that I really cannot understand. I mean, I understand wanting your children to have the best. I understand teaching your children the religion that you're practicing. I understand that. But I also understand that as our children get older, we have to allow our children to do those things that are right and appropriate for them. I'm sure you guys would agree. So as a result of it, they kicked her out of the house. Nagad ended up instantly moving in with her boyfriend, who she had only been with 8 months. She had only been with him 8 months. She became sad and depressed over time, so sad that she couldn't even function. And then finally, she came to the realization that she had made her own decision, and she was happier because of it. So basically what was happening is people were asking her questions, and she was like, make your decision for you. Whatever it is in life, make your decision for you. Because you know what I always say to my children, what I always say to everybody, every single person, no one should be able to make your decisions for you. Absolutely not. No one should be able to make your decisions for you. You know why? Because you're given the decisions to make them for yourself. So Nagad felt like she was very betrayed by her parents. She felt like she was betrayed by her sibling, the one who had shared with the parent. But even till this day, she still doesn't know who did it. Nagad, as I said, was always responsible. She always remained the same through it all. Her mother stopped all communication with her because her father was not at home. Now, I don't know. She didn't go into whether or not he had other wives, but she did indicate that her mother was always home. What happens a lot of times in families such as that, over in Somalia, not necessarily Nagad's, is that the fathers do pick up other wives. So they have wives here, they have wives there, and they have to, jiggle their time. They can't be 2 places at one time. So they have to spend time with this wife. I don't know if he was married, but I often wonder, why would he not be there during this time? So anyway, the relationship with her mother was severed. She had a really good relationship with her mother prior to this. And this seemed to be a very hard question for Nagad to answer. It seemed like she was kind of, you could see her hurting, trying to answer the question. She said her family realized that she was serious about the decision that she made, because what they used to do is they would call her. They would call her and harass her. They would call her and harass her about her now fiance. They would say all kind of ungodlies and ugly things. And one thing I believe they said to her that was really, really hard for her was, if you have children, I will never hold them. I'll never come and see them. I'll never love them because they are Jahir. Now, I don't know if you know, but Jahir means black. It's actually a derogatory word that is used often in Somalia, because in Somalia, just like in the United States, there are different types of blacks, there are different types of whites, there are different types of people of color, and so on and so on. So the Somalians that are Jahir, which is Jareer, that's a derogatory term, which means nappy hair and dark skin. So basically, what her sister and family, whoever the sister or whomever sibling that said that, I believe it was her sister who said that, it hurt her. It made her feel like, even though we have the same blood running through our veins, you're not going to love on my child. That stabbed her. Well, over time, she began to just say, you know what, it is going to be what it's going to be. I love him. This man took me in his home. She said the first day that she was in the home, it was so horrible because she actually did not know what to do. She sat down after she moved all her stuff into the house, and she said she couldn't believe it. She was like, what do I do next? See, this is a thing that really, really, really irritates me with arranged marriages and things of that nature. You don't really know the damage that you do to people. Y'all, this hair. You don't really know the damage that you actually do to the person that's having the damage done to them. And I can understand tradition. I can understand you're only knowing what you're used to, but she wasn't living in Somalia. Nagad and her entire family were living in Canada. So they were somewhat Canadized, okay? You know, in America, you can say Americanized. In Canada, we can say Canadized, okay? And what that means is they were still Somalians who were living in Canada, having the freedom to go and do and come as they please, living completely and utterly different lives in Canada as they did in Somalia. So whenever Nagad was at home, she told her parents everything, but she couldn't tell them. She knew they were going to be disappointed with her about her husband. He is now her husband. I already told you guys that. I didn't want to tell you that actually until the second part, because it may be a two-part video depending on the time, and it looks like it is. So Nagad's boyfriend's family, who is now her husband, they were very supportive of her. They were very loving toward her. They were very giving toward her. When she didn't come to get-togethers and things like that, they would call and ask why. They wanted to know why she wasn't involved with them. So one of the reasons also that the parents and the siblings disowned Nagad is because Nagad's religion, as I said before, is Muslim. She's a Muslim. They're Islamic. Nagad's then boyfriend, who is now her husband, was Catholic, but he does not practice the Catholic religion. He will tell you, as Nagad said, his religion is nature. So there we go. Now going into another area. It hurt Nagad because her family was unable to accept her. They were unable to accept the man that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. So she had to make a big, big choice. Do I leave this man that I'm so much in love with because my parents can't accept him? Or do I embrace the fact that I'm going to be disowned and be healthy in mind, spirit, body, and soul? Nagad decided, and she really had no choice because they were actually disowning her and kicking her out. But she said if she had to do it all over again, she would. She went through bouts of depression and did not seek any help, but she came out of it. After being disowned, she realized that she ended up becoming a better person. She became a better person. She was better physically, she was better mentally and emotionally. Because guess what? When they disowned her, it killed her. She couldn't understand how her family, her own flesh and blood, would do this to her for having a mate that they didn't approve of. People need to realize that the things that they do to you, to the person that's receiving it, can be affected mentally, verbally, and physically. The thing about us as people is things continue to play over and over and over in our head. We play things over and over in our head. Her family talked about him so bad, her boyfriend so bad, so bad. They said he was going to stink. The babies were going to have nappy hair. He's not this, he's not that. And those people don't know anything about him. That is total and complete ignorance. Just like the people on YouTube don't know nothing about people, but they want to assume who and what you're doing, where you're going, all kinds of stuff. If you don't know what's going on with a person, assumption does nothing but make you look crazy. So her parents trusted her. They did. They trusted her with a lot of things. But even though they trusted her, it made her feel dishonest not being able to come to her parents. She was in love. And she realized, my parents have to accept this. Then she came to the decision and she asked herself, how much of myself, how much of me do I have to lose to keep my family happy? Have y'all ever asked yourself that? How much of you do you have to lose in order to keep yourself happy? And why should you have to lose any of you to keep yourself happy or to keep your family happy? The thing about it is this: if the tables were turned and the situation was in somebody else's hand and they were carrying it, then they'd understand. See, the reality is people normally don't understand situations until they've been in them. And even when they've been in them, if they're not currently in them while you're going through them, they really can't tell you nothing. You know why? Because they don't know how you're feeling right now. You know, one thing about me is I can't stand to judgment people. Yeah, I do reaction videos, but I do reaction videos with the intent to help, not the intent to be judging people. I just don't understand why one person would think they could do or say this about another person because they've done it better. Like I said, my intent in doing reactions is just to give my advice, okay? So Nagad went on to say her mate is positive, and he told her, you've been depressed, you need to contact your family. I can't continue to see the woman I love depressed, and I would like for you to contact your family. To make a long story short, we're going to talk about what happened when Nagad decided to contact her family. We'll find out what happened. We'll find out how they are now. We'll find out some other interesting things on part 2 of arranged marriages, being kicked out, and we'll find out what happened to Nagad. Thank you so much for tuning in to Carol's Daily Sauce. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell so that you're reminded of all the videos I upload. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.